Welcome back. My name is Tristan with the Payne Group at Coldwell Banker Las Olas. Safety for ourselves and for our families is of utmost importance when we're looking for a home. Today's expert knows everything about safety. Stay tuned as I introduce him and sit down with him to discuss how to make your home the safest place possible. Today we're joined by a self-defense specialist, a private security professional, a veteran of the United States Air Force, a former police officer and SWAT member at the West Palm Beach Police Department, and founder of Riddle Defense, Mr. John Riddle. John, thanks for joining us.
Tristan,
thank you for your service to our country and our communities. And I know you formed Riddle Defense, and I'd love for you to kind of explain your vision behind it when you were putting this together.
Absolutely. Riddle Defense was formed, I would say, pushing 12 years ago now. Why? Well, one, growing up, I was always into martial arts. I was always into something in the combative sports area. Okay, moving into the military. When you're in the military, you get trained up as far as weapons are concerned, which was my specialty in small arms. So I had a very quick interest in firearms. Once I discharged from the military, I went into law enforcement. I did 28 years with the city of West Palm Beach. And in that 28 years, you see the good side and the bad side of society, okay? You see bad things happening to good people, right? And as that time went by, as a police officer, you make arrests, you try to have a conviction done on the bad guy, and then they turn around and they come back out of jail, right? And it's a revolving door for the most part. So as time went by, I decided, when I retire, I still want to give to the community. So what I want to do is I want to teach people how to become better self-protection people. Something can happen to you. You can pick up the phone, or hopefully somebody picks up the phone and calls the police for you to get the police there. That takes time. It takes time for the police officer to get there. Okay, so while this is happening, while the police are coming, still bad things could be happening to you. Okay, so I looked at it this way and I said, I want to be able to teach people to be able to take care of themselves, at least for a period of time while the police officers are getting there to give them assistance. Okay, and basically we are our own bodyguard. I am my own bodyguard. You are your own. We have a family. We have either a husband, a wife, children. We are their bodyguard when we're out and about because the police are probably 5 minutes away. So this is why I developed Riddle Defense, and we cover all aspects of self-defense, from situational awareness, all right, the beginning steps, how to physically defend ourselves, and also when we're at home, how do we beef up our homes, how do we defend our homes from such a thing as a possible home invasion, okay, or burglaries when we're not at home. So this is how it was all developed.
And you touch on you're your own bodyguard, and I think that that's important because the police are a great outlet, but it does take time for them to get you. And I think that leads into the home buying process. There are things you should probably look for when you're buying a house or when you're looking at an area. And you talk a little bit about how you discuss and teach awareness and what to look for in situations, and how would you relate that to buying a home when you're looking at the home or when you're looking at the area where the home is?
Absolutely. When I was a police officer and I was working on the street, I would be approached by people who were actually, and it's funny we're discussing this, but they would actually be looking at neighborhoods to purchase a home. Mm-hmm. And they would always wave me down and they would say, hey, what's this neighborhood like? Okay. And that's a great resource, and I'll get to that here in a minute. But if you're looking to purchase a home and you pick out a neighborhood and you really like that neighborhood, I always told people, look, the climate, not the weather, but the climate of the neighborhood changes. It could change hour by hour. Mm-hmm. So I would suggest that people do their homework, They see a neighborhood, they see a home that they like in that neighborhood, drive through that neighborhood during the day, during daytime hours, a couple times. Pick a couple days, you and your husband or you and your wife get out, jump in the car, go see that neighborhood, drive through it during the day. Then come back at night when everybody's home from work and see if there's a change in the atmosphere there. And then go back on the weekends. Everybody's home, everybody's out doing their thing in the neighborhood. Go by at night, go by during the day also, and you'll see a possible change, okay? This is very important because you don't want to get caught, purchase this home and, oh my God, I didn't know that on the weekends it got so crazy rowdy in this neighborhood, you know? So you want to try to prevent that, and you prevent that by doing your own homework. Also, what you want to look at is other developments that may surround the area in which you want to purchase that home, okay? Because you could get what we call it in law enforcement a flow over, okay, from people with bad intent coming from other neighborhoods into your neighborhood, okay, to do some bad things. So we want to also take a look at those areas too. There's 3 things right there that are very important for you to do. The 4th thing that I encourage people to do, and it's a great resource, look at your law enforcement agency. Who is the law enforcement agency that covers the area in which you work or you're going to be living in? And if you can spot a police officer, stop them, talk to them about the area. All law enforcement agencies today have a website. Go on the website, peruse through the website, look to see if they have crime statistics for the area in which you're looking to buy, okay? They will tell you, this particular area had so many residential burglaries during the year, so many car break-ins during the year, and they'll go right down the list of different crimes that may have occurred in that area. Then you can get a real good taste of what you're looking at before you make that purchase.
And you mentioned, you know, finding a police officer. If you're not able to find a police officer, I know a lot of police departments, all police departments have a non-emergency line. Is that something that somebody could call and ask to talk with somebody? Is there a valuable resource at the non-emergency line that could discuss that with a home buyer?
A big thing in law enforcement for years has been community policing. All right, and that is where they have specific units, or nowadays they may have the whole agency as a community policing unit. And what they do is, or what the home buyer can do, is call them and set up a meeting with one of the community policing officers that work in your area. They're a great resource. They can tell you everything that goes on there, okay? And this is very important. This is very important that you get a face-to-face with that person and find out what are the crime statistics here for this area. When was the last thing that occurred? Okay, and they'll be able. They're a great resource for that.
That's great. So now we have the area covered. Now we're going in to look at a house, and there are a few key aspects when looking at homes that obviously are to provide security and. What should home buyers be looking for inside the house and at the perimeter of the house that are good features to have as far as security goes?
All right. So if you're looking at a new home or a pre-owned home and you get out of the car, first thing, take it from the outside of the home and work your way to the inside. Okay, that way you're covering all your bases. Okay, and you're being very thorough. So what I look for is, when I pull up into the driveway, I look at what is the activity going on around the home.
Of course.
Are there people out? Are they out working in their yards? Are they taking care of their yards? Are they mingling with each other? Or it may be a complete quiet neighborhood and you don't see anyone, okay? And that's fine. But when I get out and I look at the property, I want to look at shrubbery. Is the shrubbery overgrown or is it trimmed back nice? Okay, because shrubbery is a good area for people with bad intent to conceal themselves. Okay, so I want to look at that. I want to look to see if there's walkway lighting and if there's lighting within the shrubs itself. Again, going back to that home, maybe at night, to see if it's lit up at night with this type of lighting. Okay? This lighting can deter people from hiding in the shrubbery to try to look into your home. The other thing I look for is, and nowadays it's so prevalent with these new companies that are out. We've got ADT, just to name one, Ring to name another, Simply Safe for another. Okay, these three companies are security companies that they can come out and install cameras. So what I look for is there perimeter security cameras up? All right, that when I pulled into the driveway, that owner or the real estate person that's inside the home sees me on a monitor, okay? Or the owner gets an alert on their cell phone, all right? So what I look for now is lighting around the home. Not only your shrubbery lighting and walkway lighting, but maybe we have some floodlights that are on sensors that will turn on and off with movement, okay? And I have one on each corner of the home. That every time I walk around the house, a light comes on. If it's a floodlight, it lights me up, okay? The second thing is, and nowadays they make them where I can get a security camera with a floodlight built in. So as soon as that light is triggered on, the camera rolls. And now I'm on camera and I'm well lit, okay? How you set these up on your home, okay, and you can do it yourself these days, you need to be able to see every aspect of your home, okay? And they have professionals that will come out and do this for you. But having the light, having cameras, okay? Backyard, front, looking down on your vehicle when you're parked in the driveway, all right? These things are going to help deter any type of bad element that may come in and try to either, one, break into your vehicles or break into your home.
And I think that's a great suggestion, and a lot of this stuff is easily addable if it's not there when you move in. Ring cameras, you can go into a store and cover your whole house for $800 and have everything covered inside, outside, driveway, backyard, gates.
Absolutely.
You and I were talking earlier, and you had a few more suggestions on once you have your ring and your lights and you do your neighborhood research and you kind of have picked the house that you want to be in, you move in. You might have dogs, and you said something about putting a beware of dogs sign up on the fence or a no trespassing sign. And then you had something else that, I watched in one of your previous videos where you talked about for single women maybe taking a pair of boots and dirtying them up a little bit and putting them at the front door, which are all great suggestions. And it's all a matter of being aware and being prepared.
Absolutely. It's, the dogs. Okay, dogs are great alarms, right? Hearing is 1,000 times better than ours. All right, they'll start barking at anything. It alerts us. We become alert. We check. We see. It also alerts the bad guy. All right, the bad guy says, "Oh, there's a dog in there. I don't know what the dog looks like. I don't know how small or big it is, but I don't know if I want to take this chance." Signs on the perimeter fencing. Okay. Put beware of dog signs up, put them out there, okay? And you can put them out there whether you have a dog or you don't, okay? The other thing which you mentioned with the boots, okay, and it had come to me and I thought it was a great idea. Single females that live by themselves in the home, get a pair of men's boots, dirty them up, put them at the front door to where they're sitting there and they can be seen, and it just gives that illusion that a man lives in the home, okay? The other thing I wanted to talk about was getting inside the home, okay? Beefing up your doors, okay? All of your doors today open out because of hurricane code, all right? So do you choose to have a door that has glass in it, or is it a solid core door, okay? This is your choice. My suggestion is that if it's going to be some type of glass, that it's hurricane glass, which is probably to code anyway, but you don't want somebody picking up something and throwing it through the glass or kicking your door in through the glass and making a breach point, okay? Also, when your doors are in, make sure that you have some long screws that are screwed into the door frame that will help delay someone from kicking that door in. Once inside the home, in your common areas, put a couple cameras. Arlo makes a great camera. Ring makes great cameras, again, and Simply Safe. You can put them in the house in common areas, and you can pick up movement inside the home when you're not there. So if you have a nanny that's watching your children, or you have somebody dog sitting, and they're in those common areas, the camera will pick up any movement. You'll be able to see what your sitters are doing.
I think those are great suggestions. You know, unfortunately, in today's world, we have to be aware of our surroundings, and something that you preach is preparation is the key to success. And
absolutely,
being prepared and being a step ahead of all that, even if you're in the safest neighborhood possible, you know, you're a step ahead and you have all this protection on your house, and by doing that, you're making your home the safest it can possibly be. And you know, you can never do much and you can never prepare enough for situations that might happen, and having a plan and understanding the safety of your area and your house and what you can do to keep an eye on everything. You're sitting at work, you know, you talk a lot about Ring cameras. You can sit at work and these Ring cameras, your phone's next to you. It's today's world. Everyone has their phone. You get a notification, you swipe up. Oh, it's just the mailman driving past. Family's okay, they're inside. It gives, you know, us a sense of security while we're at work and not at home, if our wives are at home or our significant others are at home, our kids are at home. And I think, you know, even at a personal level, that makes you more aware and maybe makes you feel more comfortable. And so I think all your suggestions are great suggestions. And I know you've had a lot of experience with the police department and you've seen a lot happen, and that's where you get a lot of your knowledge is through those experiences. And you know, it's allowed you now to come with Riddle Defense and create this awesome atmosphere that teaches self-prevention and self-protection for the everyday person. And
yes.
That's something that I think, you know, could benefit a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a thing where preparation, like you said, is the key. Having a plan. When you move into your new home, have a plan. Have it laid out as to how you're going to have it secured comfortably. We want to be comfortable. We don't want to be paranoid. All right, so we want to be comfortable. We want to set up the home to where our family is safe at all times. One last thing about, especially at the nighttime areas, is your window dressings. Whatever you have on your windows, I used to run a test all the time with people where during the day, I would open up the window and I would stand in one part of the house and look out the window to the street. I could see the person on the street standing there watching the house, but they could not see in and see me, okay, because of the way the lighting was. So I can literally stand there and watch these people from inside my home. Now we take it and nighttime comes. We open up the window dressing, the lights are on in the home. I have somebody go outside, they stand in the street, they look from the street inside the house, they can see just about everything that's going on. I'm standing there inside the well-lit house looking out, chances are I can't see you, okay? So good window dressings and understanding that theory and keeping them closed and open at particular times so people can't peek in. You don't have that peeping Tom type person, okay? Especially if you're new and you're just moving into a neighborhood. You don't really know your neighbors yet.
Yeah, and hopefully you've done your due diligence and you've found out as much as you can before actually living there about the neighborhood. But you know, it's interesting. You talk about the lighting and it switches almost from day to night.
Absolutely.
And it's just a good thing to be aware of. It's something that we may not think of, and it's important. It's important.
Very important.
Well, John, I appreciate your time. It's always a pleasure talking with you. Somebody wants to reach you and take a class with Riddle Defense. I know you have a full menu of classes that you can come in here and do in the gym, or you know, you do stuff outside of the gym. Yes. You're a motivational speaker. You talk to people about self-awareness in an office setting and in their houses, and while they're out and about in a grocery store or in a parking lot, which I think is all helpful material. How should they go about reaching you to set something up?
Okay, we're on all social media, mostly all social media. My website is www.riddledefense.com. You go to the website, you can see interesting videos, still shots, and there's a menu of things that we do here from Riddle Defense. And it's not that there's a menu up there with 1,000 things that myself or my team are just good at. We're great at everything we do, okay? And the other way you can get with us is through Facebook, at Riddle Defense on Facebook, Instagram, Riddle Defense. It's very easy. And that's it. If you want to give me a shout on the phone, it's 561-262-7840, and it's direct to me. And if it rings and it goes to voicemail, I'll get back to you right away.
Great, and I'll go ahead and put his website and his phone number in the description below. So check out Riddle Defense. John, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, sir.
Talk soon.
You bet.